Guys, another special edition of Hard Hits, and once again, I am going through the crooks and crannies, right, of the university game. And right here, I am with Dylan Laube of the New Hampshire Wildcats. How is it, mate? How is it over there? 10 a.m. you told me. So, is it a nice
Yeah.
fresh day for you?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's not too early, it's not too late. So I mean I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
You said obviously it's a not so much a day off, but your classes are okay today, so you're nice and fresh. So tell people out here right now in the UK, what's a typical day look like for you?
In college wise, and especially with football too, there's definitely a lot to handle. It's definitely a day-to-day thing. Especially like you have around like 3 or 4 classes per week. And they kind of range all morning and kind of all afternoon, but we kind of have to have it's funny because we kind of have to have like a split of time where we have to have practice. So from 2 to 6, that's like our time for like practice, meetings, and all that stuff, and that's all week long. Our really only day off is like Monday, but really like Tuesday through Sunday is just super busy with football and school and stuff, and but really like classes like range. My classes I kind of picked early in the morning so I could kind of get them out of the way. But really it's not too bad, especially me. I'm kind of at the end of my road here in college, so I kind of know all the tricks and all the stuff where I can kind of finesse everything.
Yeah,
Really, it's not too bad for the freshmen and sophomores. I feel like they kind of just are kind of everywhere, especially with a lot of like stuff going on and kind of adjusting to everything. But no, it's good. It's good. It's really at this point in my career, it's really just all about football right now.
no, I hear that. I mean, I'm gonna go a little bit for the early days then of when you went in
Yeah.
there. We've got the
Yeah.
NFL Academy here in the UK, right? So we're seeing a few
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
now making their way over to the States, getting these college
yeah,
offers right now. What would
yeah,
be that one tip you'd give to a freshman, Dylan?
yeah. Biggest thing is I think a lot of people it's very hard for them to be independent because you're so like back home you're with your family or you're with your friends and you kind of come to like a new journey in life and you meet a whole bunch of new people and they kind of treat you as like adults, especially the coaches here and the professors where like you're not alone, but really you're very independent. And for me, that was the biggest adjustment coming into here because really like it's really just you and you kind of have to adjust and become almost like grow up very quickly when you're like especially for me I came in when I was 18, so really I had to grow up very fast. So that's what the biggest thing that I would tell anyone was just is just very it's just you almost have to you're almost gonna grow up very fast here, especially in the states too. It's gonna hit you very fast. So really, that independent aspect is it's cool, but it's very hard to adjust to.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that. That's fine. I mean, it's
Yeah.
something that we're obviously trying to give out to some of the guys here. As I said, like it's a bit of a
Yeah.
transition going from, like you said,
Mhm.
being at home, but they're going from one country to another as well. So it's pretty
I
cool
mean,
from
that's very
their
hard. Yeah.
perspective.
I mean, that's completely different, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear that. So listen, you just said obviously coming to your end of your sort of college career in a sense, obviously there.
Yep.
So
Uh-huh.
what's next for you? What do you want it to look like in the next sort of year or two?
I mean, after the season, because for us, our season ends probably in like a couple weeks. Really after that, it's training for these next couple months with a couple of the senior bowl games. Hopefully the NFL combine, and then my pro day, and then after that, I'm hoping to go to the NFL. Man, that's my goal. That's my dream. And that's kind of what I really want to do in life. So that's my it's my goal. It's my end goal.
That's it. And I hear that. So listen,
Yeah.
for you as a running back, right now, I'm looking
Yeah.
at how the league is at the moment. There's always a bit of talk
Yep.
about what's going on with running backs. There's always the
Yeah.
big contract talk. Now, I'm not going to get into the contract side, but
Yeah.
do you feel the game has changed for the running back in the last few years?
It's funny because actually, like, I think the running back, what you were just saying is just kind of blowing up now, especially with all their contracts and all that stuff. But really, just the game itself. has changed so much to like a fast-paced game, because I feel like back in the day, it was like a ground and pound game, and it was like under center, it was just like a hard-nosed game. But now it's spread out. It's a fast-paced game, and I feel like personally the running back position has changed a lot. You see it everywhere now, and it's more like versatile backs, especially with the new type of backs that are getting drafted now. It's not just a big ground and pound guy. It's a quick, twitchy guy that can catch the ball, run the ball, block. You could split him out as a returner and do a bunch of different stuff where it kind of puts those backers in that defensive players like almost like in a bind. So it's kind of cool, because that's exactly who I am. So it's kind of it's cool how it's now evolving into something else. It's cool.
It's not a bad time though, like you say, that's your game. It's
Yeah,
not a bad time
exactly.
for it to happen,
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah.
can't
Perfect
complain about
timing.
that.
Perfect
Yeah,
timing for me. Yeah.
you know, growing up, you said it's your dream, right? Now,
Yeah.
when you said it was your dream, you must have looked at some players and go, do you know, I want to be like that guy, you know, in the NFL. Is there anyone that you sort of looked up to as a player that you try to mirror your game on, or try and achieve what they've achieved?
I might never know mirror my game around him, but growing up was definitely Adrian Peterson, who on the Vikings. I mean, he was the man. He was the man,
Yeah,
especially overcoming his knee injury and then becoming the best player in the NFL. The next year was crazy. But now, especially these past like probably like from like high school on, it's been Christian McCaffrey. I mean, just watching him play was just
yeah.
I've always been saying like I've always wanted to be him. So just like watching him play, man, it's awesome. It's crazy. It's crazy.
He's I call it an enigma. You know, I feel like anyone that
Yeah.
could have half of his ability or career, you'd have the most
Yeah.
successful career going. You know, like this as a running back,
Yeah. Yes.
what he does is
Yes.
absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, I mean the record he's been putting up, where it's been a consecutive touchdowns, is crazy. So
Scores
we
every single week.
every week, yeah, great for fantasy football. Great for fantasy
Yeah.
football if you've got him in there,
Yeah.
right? But
You know what's funny? Yeah. Yeah. You know what's funny? Because like we actually here at my college and with our coaches and stuff, we actually watch film of their offense, and we actually implement some of his plays into our playbook, and just watching him play is just crazy, because he's just so good. He's so talented, just like catching the ball, running the ball, and they put him into so many different spots, and it's crazy just watching him play.
it,
It's wild.
yeah,
It's wild, man.
what you're basically saying is you're set up and ready to go into Kyle Shanahan's playbook because you've been watching the tape
Yeah,
all this time.
yes,
You've
yes,
got
yes, exactly.
No,
Crazy.
I love that. I love that little bit of self promo. Don't worry, we'll get that clipped up for you, mate. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Listen, we know obviously there's the dream. We know there's many others there that are obviously trying to take your spot essentially, right?
Yeah,
When it comes to the
always.
draft. Now, um, I guess the hard question for me, I always try to ask someone in your situation right now, trying to get into that league, is: have you ever thought about anything else other than football?
No, I mean, that's always been my dream, and especially like what I was saying too. I mean, I've been criticized my whole life, because especially like where I'm from, football isn't really the biggest spot. I know in America it's huge, but there's certain states that just it's not big. It's like, I mean, there could be other sports that kind of they promote. Um, I mean, I could count handful of guys on my hands from my area, and even from my county. Is just like there's not many guys that make it. So really, like I've been kind of like that's been like my it's been kind of like I've been putting my head down and just kind of just going forward, because I mean everyone's been saying since I was a kid, since high school, since even here, it was really like, hey, like it's going to be hard for you. And so really I've been just kind of, that's been my determination, just been like, hey, like just go, let's just play. And I just been kind of wanting to prove everyone wrong. And you know what? And it's been working. So yeah, So it's been a fun journey so far. But really, end of the day, it's my end goal has always been football, even since a kid. So yeah,
You got to keep that hunger, man. You got to keep that hunger. It's not that wasn't the
yeah,
question. I'm trying to trip you up on. It was just more a case of let's just
yeah,
see.
yeah,
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 put your
yeah.
heads. No, that's it. I love that. I love that. So
Oh,
listen, put parking the football away for a second here.
yeah,
When it let's talk about you. You know the love for
yeah,
football, but what's that other
yeah.
bit of love there? When the football season's not there, you're not working out. What makes you tick? What is that thing that you were like, I need this just to mellow out a little bit?
You know what's funny? It's actually like I love being active, and you know it's gonna sound weird, but I love like working out. I love working out. I love like it kind of puts me into like my Zen mode where like I just could just like go into the gym, put on the headphones and just get a nice pump in for the next hour and a half and just relax. I know it sounds weird, but like to me that's what I love to do. And I've always been like a workout guy, and I just love just being active. Like I can't just like I can't just sit down and just stop. Like so like I'm very big on like always going, always going. But it's funny because like especially here, like there's nobody like I don't really have family up here. So really the only time I get to really talk to them is like through like video games or something like that. So really like my downtime I would say is probably like playing video games with my brothers and my friends back home. But still like I'm still always like doing stuff. I'm always going, always going. So really that's kind of what besides football, it's not really like I'm still doing kind of football stuff, but really end
Yeah,
of the day, like that's really what I love to do. So it's
no,
kind
I
of
hear that.
yeah. Yeah.
What computer games you playing?
Um recently it's funny, like I get in like these almost like these phases where I'll play one game for the next like 6 months, and then I'm like, you know what? I'll switch. But I've been playing adding a lot, of course,
Yeah.
football. I play COD, called we actually got back into Fortnite because like the new
Okay.
OG map just came
They
out.
got the old map, right?
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we've been playing that. What else? And then of course I'll play baseball too, which is MLB The Show, which that's
Yeah.
like my 4 games right now. But who knows in like a couple months I might be playing something else.
Well, the new Modern Warfare is coming out, right? So Modern Warfare, is it three?
Yes,
I think it's
yes, yeah,
coming
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It just starts the
Uh-huh.
clock again, just as you think you've had enough.
Exactly.
Bang, next one. Like every time.
It just keeps on going.
Yeah,
Every
they
single
know what they're
time.
doing.
Every single
Yeah.
time.
they,
Yeah.
they know what they're doing. They know what
Wow.
they're doing. Although they just announced Grand Theft Auto 6, I think, is coming out.
I
So
was just about to say that. I was just
that's
about to
it.
say that.
That will break the cycle, I think.
So yeah, I think their preview's coming out like this week or like in the next couple of weeks. So it's gonna be cool seeing that. It's gonna be
That'll
cool
be
seeing that.
cool.
I
Yeah,
mean, it
that'll.
took them like 10 years to even make it.
How long? I
It
know.
better
I
be good. It
know.
better be good. It's got to be.
Yes, please,
Yeah.
please. After all this
Yes.
hype, it has
Yeah.
to be.
Right.
It has to be. Has to be good. But yeah. No, I listen. Everyone loves the game. I don't think anyone. There's always a game for someone. I don't care what it is. So like, game is
Oh,
definitely enough
yes.
to switch off, which is cool. So
Uh,
what? So my another thing I like to talk about. You might see a few over my shoulder here. I've got a few kicks, obviously,
yeah.
in the back as well. Right
Yeah.
now, when, and I say this when you are in that NFL team, wherever that may be,
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot more eyes on you. So when it comes to game
Yep.
day fit, people are going to obviously see, look, well, let's see what Dylan's got. What's he got for us, right? So
Yeah.
I know you're laughing because this brings me to my question. Because I always ask people, listen, when it comes to drip, are you Travis Kelsey or Jason Kelsey? Where do you put yourself when it comes to game day?
Jason Kelsey. I got no drip whatsoever, and all it's my brothers, my friends. They make fun of me every time. Like, Dylan, you gotta have drip, man. You gotta have drip with everything what's going on right now. I'm a superstitious guy. Like, I just like having just my basic gloves, tape wrist, and then that's it. It's a very simple thing. But trust me, I mean, my brothers make fun of me every single game, every single game. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, that's just not me.
Right, we need to get onto your brothers. They need to be working harder. They need to be working harder to get
Yes,
you set
yes,
up.
right. I know. I know.
We're blame
I
them. We're
know.
blame them. Let's put it on them. They have
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
been
Okay.
doing their job and their role correctly. Less time computer games, more time getting that wardrobe set up. Let's get on to them.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
Yeah. It's on them now. It's on them.
do you, listen, when I put this in a nutshell, when I'm looking, I can hear it, the focus, the
Yeah.
sort of determination to, you know,
Yeah.
reach that end goal. But when it comes to game day, you said like when you said you're going to the
Yeah.
gym, headphones are on just to get that
Yeah.
pump there. Game day, what you're superstitious as well. You said you got that in there. So what is it game day? What's your routine? What's in the headphones? What is it that gets you ready for when that first whistle goes for kickoff?
It definitely depends on the time of the game too, because it could be from 12 o'clock, it could be 3:30, it could be a night game. So it really depends. But really like I like having I love to eat, so I like having like a couple big meals prior, depending on the time. Really that's not really a superstition of mine, but really like it's really after that. I like biggest thing for me is just doing the same, like I always have to do the same like stretches every single time before the game in the same exact order, same exact way. And if I don't, it just like it bothers me so much. But really for me, like music wise, I don't really like getting pumped up before the game. It's really like right before the game is when I get pumped up. But really, I like listening to like very like calm, relaxing stuff to really almost like puts me in like that Zen state. And kind of like takes my mind off the game just like a little bit, just to almost be like, okay, just relax. And I feel like a lot of guys, they just get so fired up before the game and it kind of either they get gassed out or something. But like for me, I just like being relaxed, just calm and like listening to like old like 80s pop and just like relaxing. Yeah. So
I like it. I like. You know what? When I first got into this and talking to different
yeah,
players, various players, I just thought the hype must be just electric in there. I'm thinking, and it's just like, okay, as soon as that whistle is, bang, go to war, right? I got to meet Alexander Matson at the Vikings, and he
yeah,
was like, I'm very much on the floor in the locker room, people stepping over me. I'm meditating. I'm on the field,
exactly.
meditating.
Yes.
You guys, your position that you're in as well, where you say it's, I know we're talking about the league, but you still got a ground and
Yeah.
pound. You as a personal like person has got a ground and
100%.
pound. I'm thinking, really? Like what classical music, relaxed? Like I did
Yeah.
not think that that was the case, but it seems to be like you just be able to just turn it on and be able to get into that point. So I hear that. I hear it.
And you know what? Like, especially with our position too, just like you have to be very relaxed because there's so much going on for us, especially like for running the ball too. You have to be relaxed because if you kind of start thinking and start going like crazy, that's when you start missing the hits, uh, playing bad and doing all that stuff. While if you just relax and just kind of do what you have to do, that's where you kind of just become like a great player, I feel like. So I definitely agree with everything that you just said about that. So it's funny.
I hear that. I hear that. It's yeah, it's so strange. Obviously, like I said, when I first heard it, I was like, okay, no, it starts to make sense, and hearing more and more players
Yeah, it
like
is
that.
strange.
So I hear that. So, um, final question from me right now is
Yeah,
this: I'm seeing a trend. I'm seeing more of a trend here in the NFL where people are liking to try and get their old college teammates in their same team at some point. Where it's Kyler and Hollywood Brown. I've seen we saw Derek
yeah,
Carr and Devontae Adams try and get that
yeah,
connection back.
yeah.
Is there a player that you would love to still play with that you're playing with currently or have done in the system when you make it in the NFL?
There's definitely a couple guys, but the biggest guy I think that has the best shot, and I would love playing with him too because I've been playing with him for I'm thinking now 3 seasons now, is my quarterback, Max Brosmer. Hell of a player. He's actually been getting a lot of looks too. He's a redshirt junior, so he's got one more year left. If he's ever in the NFL, I would love to play with him. He's a hell of a player. He works his butt off. Um, he's always the first one in, last one out. And it's funny because like a lot of people say that, but like for him, he does it every single day. I always see him first one in every single day to practice, to lift, to meetings, and he's always the last one out. It's he's a hell of a player. If I ever get a chance to play with him, that would be awesome.
That'll be
Crazy,
the
actually.
one.
It would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
Hey,
crazy, man. Be dreaming
I've
of
seen
that.
Stranger
Be
Things.
dreaming
I've seen
of
Stranger
that.
Things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. True. True. True.
you talk about
Yeah. Always. Always. And like once again, there's especially with FCS level guys where it's like we're not like the Alabamas, we're not the Clemsons, like the bigger schools. Like for us, there's not a lot of guys that make it. So like for us, we've always said since like freshman year, and for him it was my sophomore year and his freshman year. It was like, hey, like let's be the first ones to actually like do it. So we've been saying it since day one. So it would be a cool way to kind of help this school out too, and just to show everyone, hey, like from a small school, like you could do it. Yeah.
I hear that. Now, listen,
So
I'm going to be following your journey all the way through now. So
yeah.
I'll be on to you, mate. Every time you're making that step up that ladder until you're there sitting with Carl Shanahan and Christian McCaffrey, and you can go through all those places. And oh,
Yes,
we ran
sir.
this
Yes,
one,
sir.
we ran this one. So we'll make sure
Yeah.
we're following it. But for
Hey,
everyone
but
else
I
that's
got a
obviously
question
watching,
for you too. I got a question for
oh,
you too.
fire it back,
Yeah,
fire it
yeah, yeah.
back.
So
Yeah.
I got a question for you too. Since you're from the UK, like, how'd you get into football? Is there like, was there something that you saw? Was it just you just watching the game and stuff? Because that's like a
But
cool thing to do.
yeah, funny enough, my dad used to come over to the States for a lot of work,
Okay, yeah,
actually
yeah,
in Arizona. So
yeah.
that's why for my sins, actually, funny enough, I think I've got, as you can see, Cardinals jersey on,
Okay,
right?
Car.
So,
Oof, oof,
I
oof. It's a
know.
rough year so far, man. I'm sorry.
It's it's tough, but it shows how thick-skinned I am to put up supporting this side for all this time, right?
Hey,
So
hey, listen. I respect it. I respect it.
it's
That's
and
crazy.
that's how I got into it. Watching, because I think when I was a kid visiting, it's like, oh, I'd like to. Can I watch football somewhere? And then someone like stuck me in front of a TV
Yeah,
screen with helmets and people. I was like, this is not football. No one's kicking the ball here.
yeah,
So, but I got
yeah,
into it.
yeah.
It was just like, okay, this is crazy. This is like I quite like the look of this. And that's how I got into it. And then just over time, I've had a goal, I suppose, was to try and be involved in it here in the UK as we got an
Yeah,
office here. NFL
yeah,
UK grew. I was like, "Oh, I need to get involved. What
yeah.
can I do?" So this
It's
is where
getting
I'm
bigger
at,
too
man.
over there too. Yeah,
Oh, it's good.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's getting
listen,
bigger and bigger
hopefully,
over there too.
hey, man, hopefully, you never know. As I said, man, it might be involved with a team that ends up coming over here in the UK, and then we'll look back at this. It'll be like that Paul Rudd,
Yeah.
like that meme. Yeah,
Yes. Exactly. 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 Come on. Come on. But that's awesome. That's awesome,
we'll
man.
have that. We'll have that. But yeah, man, that's I say that's how I got into it. And yeah, man. Hopefully, as I said, I'll be following you now. I'll definitely catch
Yeah.
you on socials, but tell everyone, obviously, that's watching and listening to this, where can they find you on socials so they can also follow your story?
Biggest thing I would say Instagram and Twitter. My Instagram is Dylan Dylan underscore Laube Laube, and it's the same for Twitter too. So they're both exactly the same. So yeah, follow if you guys can.
Let's let's get you on there, man. As I say, let's try and build you up. Let's get people watching your story. And as I said, let's revisit this. I say this to everyone. I've seen a few guys that have had this very same conversation in their dorm, and let me tell you the story as a bit of motivation for you, Dylan. I had
Yeah,
this same
appreciate that.
conversation with Wanyal Morris, and we were talking
Yep.
about like, hey man, we got to get you. I'm definitely going to see you in an international game, and I saw him just last week in Frankfurt where he's there kitting up for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm telling you, I'm giving
That's
you that
awesome.
same energy. I want to have that. I want to see
Okay,
that same journey for you, my man. And yeah, we'll catch
I'll
you
see
no
you
doubt
there.
of an international
100%.
game. Yeah, excellent,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Sam. I appreciate that. Yes,
love it,
sir. I'll see you there.
lovely. Well, man, it's been a pleasure, Dylan. I appreciate it, and yeah, no
Thank
doubt we'll catch you
thank
soon.
you. All right, Sam. I appreciate it.
Peace,
Have a
man.
good one.